Are you sharing too much? Are you showing too much? Are you in an effort to encourage your participants to be real, raw, vulnerable, and show up as they are? Are you considering the impact of doing that on how people feel about booking for your event? About how people feel about you, how people feel about the choice that they're making in handing over their dollars, their time, their effort. I'm raising this because I'm seeing it a little bit at the moment where people are sharing the behind the scenes of the marketing of their event or the planning of their event. And I feel like they're showing a little bit too much. It reminds me of, you know, when uh, back in the day, we didn't have access to rock stars and superstars. We had this persona of them that we kind of applied to them, that we thought of them, and we kind of put them up on a pedestal. And then social media came along and they came out and started sharing about themselves personally. Sometimes they would share their struggles. Um, but we kind of saw this rawness, this realness about them. And I'm going to be honest, some of them I kind of went, "Oh, that's a bit lackluster. Oh, I didn't realize that, that's all you did to do the thing that you did." One of the other things that it reminds me of too is when I was younger, I didn't realize number 1, I didn't realize songs got remade, right? Had no idea that songs got remade, and I also had no concept of where bands were from. Like I didn't there was no kind of line in the sand between the local scene and international artists and Australian artists, that kind of thing, that I was aware of. And so when I did discover that, I was kind of like, "Oh, they're just an Australian band. They're not an international band. Oh, well, now I don't like them as much because 'cause they're not international." Like, it was this really weird disconnect that I had when I kind of found out the realness of this. So I just want you to have a think about when you're sharing the realness of your struggles of creating your event, and let's be real, everybody has them, right? It's a pretty stressful exercise, or it can be. Let me just say that it can be a pretty stressful exercise. It doesn't have to be. Um, I've just seen one experience with somebody who has absolutely knocked it out of the park in terms of selling out their event even before the event was created, which is something I absolutely advocate for. Make sure you've got the market for it first before you invest a great deal of time, let alone invest any money in it. Um, but, this person has absolutely hit it out of the park. There's others out there right now, though, who are really struggling to sell their event, and they're kind of sharing that a lot, in their communications, and I feel like it's almost begging. There's this whole kind of desperation feeling around it. So just make sure that when you are sharing those behind the scenes, that it is that it's showing you in the light that you want people to see you in. B, it's compelling them to take the action that you want them to take. So just make sure that you're not pushing people away or showing too much behind the curtain and kind of ruining the persona that these people that your potential customers may have built for you. So just have a think about that, okay? Make sure that, yes, absolutely being raw, real, vulnerable, letting people in behind the scenes, great strategy, particularly in this day and age. It's something that is really working well. People want to see, people want to get to know you better and they want to see you. Um, but make sure that they are seeing you in a light that is even better than they expected. You wanna be, increasing their impression of you, not decreasing their impression of you or your event or the activity that you're conducting. Okay, so keep a lookout, pay attention to those ads, watch what is making you excited. So when sign up to newsletters for festivals and events and conferences that are in compelling you, or interesting you in attending. Have a look at the copy, watch what they're saying. Um, if it's exciting you, follow along with those processes. Copy the structure. Don't copy the content, but copy the structure of what they're doing, the cadence of how often they send those emails out, or the cadence of how often they show up on social media for you. Are they doing paid ads? What's happening in their paid ads? Like these big, big festivals, these, the Live Nation festivals and concerts, follow along with that kind of procedure because they're paying the big bucks to the people who have studied the buying behavior of the human race and they know what procedure to follow. So just think about that. Don't get too real and raw that you show us a side of yourselves that we didn't expect and maybe wasn't, maybe doesn't raise you above the bar that we have set for you. Just be cautious of that. But remember, it's all about mindset, okay? What you think, what you believe, that's what you're going to achieve. So if you're out there sharing desperation, if you're out there saying, oh, this is really hard, this is really stressful, we really hope that we're going to get this many people to come to our thing, that kind of energy, that's not something people want to buy into. If, however, you're out there talking about the kinds of people who are signing up, so you don't even have to talk about numbers. I can't believe that, this person just signed up to come to our event. That's absolutely incredible. Um, you know, you're going to get to hang out with people who are in these kinds of industries, and these industries are going next level. Um, Spend a lot more time in the excitement, the abundance space. Let people know the value of coming. Why should they be compelled to come to your thing? Um, and the behind the scenes kind of stuff that you might like to consider showing is why you chose the venue that you chose. Yes, you've chosen this incredible venue for people to come to, but what's in it for them? Why should they come? Like, why is the venue important to them? Not important to you, not because it looks great or it's going to have great food. Like, we can get that anywhere. Attached to your event, why is this venue important? Why is the location important? When you're talking about who your speakers are, who your lineup is, we probably know one, maybe two of those names. Having a full page of speakers and then doing kind of behind the scenes in relation to why you chose them as speakers, again, doesn't really compel us. What you can do is the behind the scenes, some vox pops with them. Talk to them about what they're going to bring to the conference, event, seminar, festival, whatever it is that you're creating. Get them to do some vox pops with you and share what it is that they're going to bring to the audience. You've got to build the excitement, you've got to build the enthusiasm. Um, it's a race, right? You've got to think of it like a race, and it's certainly not a race to the bottom. So, um, pay attention to the marketing that's in the marketplace that is exciting you, that is compelling you to want to go and check out that event, that festival, that conference, and follow that structure. Yes, do behind the scenes. Yes, do the vulnerability pieces, but make sure the result of those pieces is going to compel someone to take the next step towards buying a ticket to your thing. All right, all the best. Cheers.